Well, good morning. Welcome to my office. I've never preached from my office, but I've also never preached wearing a hoodie. Such is the week that's before us. Our scriptures today are Psalm 23 and also John chapter 9, verses 1 through 41. I would invite you to pause the video and read those scriptures. So I'm an impatient driver. Actually, that's probably putting it nicely. I'm in a hurry when I get behind the wheel. So I loathe being stuck at a stoplight. Many of you probably feel the same way. When I'm stuck at a stoplight and I'm looking at those red lights, to me it just looks like the devil's eyes staring right back at you, keeping you from where you need to be. So when the reality of the stoplight that's been placed before us really hit me this week, I wasn't happy about it. And I know many of you aren't happy about it either. I mean, of course, there are major changes that are happening in all of our lives, but I'm just talking about the changes in our everyday routine, the more menial change. We don't like change. We don't like to wait. We don't like to be told to stay home. We don't appreciate being told who we can and who we can't be around. Now, the man in today's story from John chapter 9, he knows a little something about that, about radical changes in our life. See, the man in John chapter 9 was born blind. He'd never seen his entire life. And folks in his community thought that condition was a judgment from God. So Jesus encounters the man. He spits in the dirt, makes some mud, and rubs it in the man's eyes. Then tells him to go wash in the pool and come back. And when he comes back, he's able to see. Now that change in that man was so drastic that his community did not even recognize him anymore. It took them a little while, and with some explanation, they finally realized who it was. They saw a human being. They saw someone loved by Jesus. And it shattered their certainties. When major change occurs in our life, it shatters our certainties. So this community around the blind man thought maybe miracles do happen. Maybe the sinful do deserve our love and support. Maybe this Jesus fella is really special. So here's the point. I'd like to ask you to think about a couple questions this week. What's the stoplight teaching you? What certainties has it shattered in your life, the change that you're undergoing now? And what change is Jesus calling on you to embrace? You see, many of us, as I alluded to before, are facing very difficult change. I mean, deep-seated change that affects everything about our lives. Businesses closing, healthcare facilities overwhelmed, all of us concerned about our own health and well-being. People losing their jobs. I implore you to remember that blind man. Jesus took away everything that he ever had, but he also gave him things that he never had before. I implore you to remember the words of the 23rd Psalm. Even though you may be walking through a dark valley, fear no evil, for thou art with me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us forever. Amen. So thank you all for joining us for online worship today. It's a new experience for all of us. Please remember throughout the week that nothing can ever separate you from the love of God. No matter who you are or where you go, God's love is with you always. Embrace God's loving presence and share it with others. Amen.